Good morning. I'm out for a run, which is pretty standard for me. I thought I'd share my thoughts. This is day two for me of being out of a job for the third time due to redundancy. And I thought I'd share my thoughts. Some of the things that occurred to me about the experience and covering the R to Y of redundancy. So take from it what you will. If you're going through this as well, stay strong, keep positive, get out and explore, go for a walk. Anyway, so R is for reflect. So when I first heard the news that I was being made redundant again, it was a shock. I took time to digest that, went through the whole change curve. I was also for reset, so I'm very much of the opinion that it's about focusing on what you can control. So it's good to experience emotions. It's natural to experience certain emotions as you hear bad news like this. I was in a job that I really loved, but that job is no longer there for me, so I need to accept that and kind of move on. So reflect and reset. E is for explore. So redundancy presents a fantastic opportunity to think about what you actually want to do. Are there other things that you've been considering but didn't want to take a risk? Are there things that you've done before that you loved that you wish you want to go back to? Or are there new opportunities, new roles that have emerged that you'd like to explore? So take some time to look at your skills, think about what kind of roles there are, talk to people. And that leads me on to D. So D, discuss. I'm quite an insular person in many ways. I'm very sociable. I'm great in conversation with people in the workplace. I often keep my thoughts to myself, apart from on social media. But I do. Sometimes I don't know where it comes from, but sometimes it's difficult. It's almost like I need to fix this myself. Kudos to my most recent colleague and good friend Adam Walsh for supporting me on my journey in my last role and really helping me to embrace, being vulnerable. I think it's really important we talk with our leaders about the importance of humility, and there are people who will help, who've got perspectives and who can just listen. So discuss. U is for understand. So one thing that we often do is we're just busy. We're not always productive. We're often busy. I've talked to many of the people I've coached, mentored and developed over the years about the importance of taking time for self-reflection. And this is a great opportunity to really understand what your strengths are. Think about what you bring to an organisation, or if you decide to set out on your own, what are your key strengths? What are your real qualities that you can build on? And what's the authentic you? What does that look like? People find it quite hard to sit down and think about themselves. They often think about other people, think about situations. My tendency is to just crack on and get into the do mode. I immediately started thinking about opportunities and roles and finding roles that might be suitable for me before I suddenly realised that I didn't actually want to do them just because I could. It's an opportunity to really understand what matters to you. I've got a very clear purpose, which is great, but also just taking the time to understand who you are. I did a fantastic exercise recommended by my outplacement coach. Shout out to ALISON HUGHES, and she suggested this ask 5 people exercise. I ended up asking 12, I think, and got responses from all 12. 4 or 5 very simple questions that really helped me to understand how people perceive me, what my strengths are, what they really value about me, and one thing that they think, I could kind of work on. Really, really valuable feedback. So thanks for that, Ali. So N is for networking. Now, I'm sure many of you out there are just like me. Networking, that word fills you with dread. I'm not one for walking into a room with lots of people and kind of shining and just going straight into hi, I'm Graham and all that kind of stuff. I've got better, but it's not my biggest kind of joy in life. But networking, LinkedIn has been amazing. Ali again gave us some tips on networking and how to approach situations. People are so willing to give. I've contacted and sent connection requests to several people who have, and I've basically asked them, if they can help me with some insights into a particular industry or role. I haven't asked people, have you got a job? It's literally just asking people for specific help. And I've had 2 really, really good conversations with people happy to give me their time and give me some really useful food for thought on potential new roles, and stumbled across some information which has been really helpful with some job applications as well. So that's fantastic. So send connection requests to people that you admire. People are really happy to give. People often don't get asked. N, networking. D, second D. So second D for me is define. I was torn between define and decide. I think it's define. Define what you're looking for from a role. That doesn't have to be specifically a role. It can be what you want to be achieving, what skills you want to use, which of your strengths you think are really valuable in that role. Could be, or you want to be using in that role. Perhaps the kind of industries you want to work in, organisations that you really respect, and it's as much about what you don't want to do as what you do. So it can really help you to narrow down, stop you from being blinkered to opportunities which might not be obvious. Don't discount certain jobs because of the job title. Companies use all kinds of job titles to say the same thing, or to reflect something which is linked to what you did before and could be really interesting for you, and a slight, what I'd call a career shimmy. So a shift into something slightly different, but still using a lot of your knowledge and skills. So that's the second D. So A goes back to the first point really about reset. A is for acknowledge. It's happening. People process things in very different ways, but it's happening. You can rail against the world. You can say, woe is me. You can be concerned about the future. Focus on the now, accept it, and decide, okay, I didn't make that decision. I accept organisations make decisions that I might not necessarily agree with. The 3 times I've been through this, the one thing that's really helped me to move on quickly is acceptance, and the fact that it's not personal. This is something that the business decided to do. I'm sure they'd love me to stay. There isn't a role that I could stay for really, or to want to stay for, and that's been the same in the other organisations I left. So acknowledge and accept, and then focus on what you can do. Second N is for no. I'm well aware that I might get offered a role in this process, and it might not feel right, and the temptation is I need a job, I need to pay the bills, I need to not get run over, I have to do something. And I think what I'm coming to terms with is an opportunity to be brave. I have a bit of money behind me, I have the breathing space. It does feel risky to not accept a job. I'm not just going to turn the first one that I get offered down just because, but if there's anything that I'm not sure about and it just doesn't feel right in my gut, I think I really need to think, should I say no rather than I must say yes. C. So C is for commit. Really important. As I said, it's happening. Commit to action. Do something every day. Do something every day to move forward. Have a positive conversation every day. That's a great piece of advice from my good friend Simon Welsh. Shout out to you, Simon. And running partner. Have a good conversation, positive conversation every day. Do something positive, take action, have a routine, set yourself some mini goals, just basically work towards stuff. I'm a great one for lists, not always great for actually executing all of the bits on them, but they give me structure and they help me to really understand what I need to do. So have a few little victories to celebrate every day and really commit to actually doing stuff. And then finally, why? Let's see if we can get away from the shadow. Why? Why is the end goal, the ultimate? This is what we're working towards. Why is for yes. Yes, this is happening to me. Yes, it's going to lead to something else. Yes, yes, I would love to take that role. When you find the role that's the right fit for you, take the opportunity, grasp it with both hands. But yes, I heard something a few years ago from a guy called Lanny Basham, who used to be an Olympic rifle shooter for the USA, and he was on the trail running podcast I listened to, and he used a phrase that's really resonated with me since. He said, things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Just think about that. It's, you may not choose it, but this is an opportunity to refresh, to recharge, to reset, to explore, to find something new, and to move forward and do something great. So I'll end this what was going to be a short video. Sorry, it's turned into a bit of a monster, but the art of why of redundancy. In short, stay positive, believe in yourself, keep the faith, keep moving forward, and as I always say, onwards with a smile, people. Best of luck.